I'm here today to answer a question about the differences between ordinance marriage and customary marriage as it pertains to the Ghanaian law and the culture and living in Ghana. My name is Sika of Sika Educates. It's the same name on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you haven't subscribed to any of these channels, please do so, particularly TikTok and YouTube, and I will be grateful. Secondly, most of us that live in the West send remittances to our families, our loved ones back in Ghana, Nigeria, and other African countries. I'm not sure if you've heard about the new app called Tap Tap Send, which allows you to send remittances to your family back home. Download the app on your phone, iPad, tablet, um, iPhone, or Android, and use the promo code AKUSIKA Acoustica to support this platform. And God will bless you. Guess what? If it's the first time that you're sending transactions on the app, you get $15 if you're in America and in Canada, and it's £5 if you're in England, and €5 in the rest of Europe. It does not get better than this. Do this and you shall be glad that you did. The rates for sending remittances are fantastic. I especially want to reach out to my brothers and sisters that are in Texas and New York. We are live. Tap Tap Send is live in these two places, as well as the rest of the states. It's time for you to take advantage of this and you not regret that you've done so. Thank you very much. Now, customary marriage is where the dowry is paid to the bride's family, as far as it pertains to most African countries, including Ghana, to the bride's family by the groom's family, and it's the official opportunity for the bride's family to meet the groom and his family that is seeking the bride's family or the bride's hand in marriage. Customary marriages are between the bride and groom and their family. So these people are witnesses that make sure that the marriage goes well. Now, customary marriage is potentially polygamous in the sense that the law recognizes customary marriages and allows the men or the grooms to be able to have multiple women in customary marriage, where they take the dowry to the bride's families, as long as the various families are in agreement. The first bride is in agreement that the man marries other women and he is able to look after all of these women that are now becoming his customary wives and any potential offsprings that come out of all of these marriages. What tends to happen a lot of the times is that a man will go and see woman A, propose love to her, want to marry her, but a lot of times the intention to want to marry other women in the future is not disclosed to the women. And a lot of the times, things are done in secret before the first wife knows. There are other women that the man is alleged or actually married to. And this is where the confusion and the conflicts begin. In my opinion, it is only fair that if you're a groom or a man that proposes to a woman and you know that your stance is that you believe in polygamy, that is fully expressed and made public knowledge, so that this woman that you're proposing to marry understands that at some point in your life, she's not going to be the only person that is going to be your wife. It settles a lot of things. You give her the opportunity to make informed decisions about whether she wants to stay married to you or not, or even agree to the marriage in the first place. So let's get that point clear. Now, once there's a customary marriage, if the man now wants to get into ordinance marriage, which is the type of marriage where you actually physically go to a court of law and sign and register this marriage legally, that can only happen between one man and one woman. So if Felix, being a man, wants to marry AC in ordinance marriage. If he's ever been married to anybody else apart from AC in customary marriage, Felix needs to go and dissolve any other customary marriages with other women before he's able to marry AC in ordinance marriage. If Felix has 10 different women and he wants to marry somebody else in ordinance marriage, he must first go and dissolve all the 10 customary marriages with all the different families before he's able to engage in any kind of ordinance marriage with any woman, whether it's one of the 10 or another woman. Anything apart from that is not in alignment with the laws of the land. Now, ordinance marriage is a registration of a marriage legally in the court of law between a bride and a groom. And this marriage is not polygamous, which means that if a man marries one woman in ordinance marriage, he cannot in the future go and marry somebody else customarily or in ordinance marriage until this marriage with the first woman is completely dissolved. They are completely divorced with a divorce certificate from the court of law, which means they are both free and single to remarry other partners. This is where a lot of things are not clear to a lot of people. And some of the times I find a lot of my brothers that are married in ordinance to women and then go and meet somebody else in the future and they go and perform customary marriages with these other women, thinking that is binding. But any other marriage that anybody engages in when they are already in ordinance marriage that has not been dissolved is considered to be against the law. There's so many men that are engaged in bigamy without even knowing it. And on the face of it, until there's any problem, the law doesn't actively go chasing people unless the alarms are blown by other women. There's actually an issue right now where a man is married in ordinance to a wife with issues. They have children. This man then leaves the wife, moves out of their matrimonial home, marries another woman customarily, which should never even have happened, leave that one, and is now trying to get into ordinance marriage with a third woman when he is still in ordinance marriage with the first one. Had it not been for the fact that the first woman's attention was drawn to the fact that this is what the man was looking to do, he would have fraudulently gone ahead with such. There's so many instances. I don't even want to go into recollecting all of them. But this is just a word for both parties, both men and women, to be sure and be careful and ask the relevant questions. In this kind of society, it is always the women that are aggrieved in most of these cases. And so I advise my sisters that whilst the pudding is sweet and the man is telling you all these kinds of fanciful things that make you lovey-dovey and so excited about the marriage, because you feel that is what is going to complete you, that is what is going to make you whole. Honey, please ask relevant questions. Find out whether this man is not legally married to anybody else before marrying you. If he's in customary marriage with other women, he has to dissolve all of those customary marriages before he's able to marry you in ordinance, which is what a lot of people like, because most churches in Ghana have been given the legal license to be able to officiate and bless such marriages. Ask relevant questions. Otherwise, you're the one that loses at the end of the day. Nobody is saying that when people get into marriages only for what you can seek to get out of the marriage. But equally, when you have sweated and worked hard with a groom for many years to build assets that your children are potentially entitled to, you don't want anybody to take advantage of you. You don't want your hard work to be in vain. You want to reap where you have sown. And so I would entreat every sister in the house to pay keen attention to everything that is happening. And this really is advice to everybody, because in ordinance marriage, there can only be one man and one woman at a time before any other thing by any of these parties. The marriage that is existing has to be completely dissolved before there are any other marriages that are allowed. I want to protect my brothers and my sisters. I want the status quo to be clear to everybody. And I want people to understand that they have rights as well as responsibilities. Don't allow anybody to take advantage of you. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. There's a word and there's a way that seemeth right unto a man or a woman, but the end thereof, they say, is death. Now, open your eyes, shine your eyes. Don't take things on face value. Ask relevant questions. There's nothing wrong with going to a court of law and wanting to make sure that there are no records in the archives of this man or woman who you're wanting to marry in any existing marriages that have not been completely dissolved. You just might be surprised at that man and or that woman that you think is everything, but is lying to you, deceived you, and not told you the truth about the current state of affairs. There's so many men gallivanting the streets all over the place, telling people they are divorced, when in actual fact, what it is that they're either living with women that they're not romantically involved with anymore, or sometimes it's just a separation. A separation is not a divorce. The fact that people are living in two completely separate geographical locations does not dissolve a marriage. What dissolves an ordinance marriage is a divorce certificate that has been signed and is legally binding in a court of law that says Miss A and Mr. B are no longer married as one entity. As well, there's a lot of people that fake documents. So you need to be vigilant. If you're presented with any papers, I would do well to take that to the court of law and make sure that the documents that you are saying are actually legally binding and not some fake stuff that is paraded in front of you to deceive you. A word to the wise is enough. My name is Sika. I would put this out there and say that, disclosure, I am not a lawyer by any stretch of the imagination. I am just somebody that's very enthusiastic about knowing the truth. And I go out there and source correct information so that I am properly informed. And I make sure that anybody that I love or has anything to do with me also knows what the truth is. Be vigilant, my sisters. Open your eyes. And my brothers, open your eyes. And don't do anything that you don't want done to you, because you know what? What goes around definitely does come around. I love you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you found value from this video. Please share the video on your profile so other people can also get the wisdom, the knowledge, and the insights on this video. And as I beseeched before, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sika Educates. The same name on all social media handles and also on TikTok. God bless you. I love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.